Hey everyone, my faithful Negro companion, Ron Love, and I recently did a video about friendship. It's coming out soon. I'll have it out. Just gotta make some tweaks. It's kind of long. But something that's come out since, and I've seen it before, and it's like this reoccurring thing where people are embracing either single lifestyles or lifestyles without people involved in their life. And it seems to be a really popular kind of thread and mindset. They ask the question, and I've seen it many times, so how come y'all single? You know, this kind of way that the social media approaches things, that like you're in mid-conversation. I don't understand that appeal, but I guess it makes it easier to broach subjects that are socially awkward or sensitive by just acting like you're already talking about it. Well, whatever. I mean, that's a tactic. And there's other ones that ask, how many of y'all have lived by yourself? I mean, completely by yourself. Like that's some sort of oddity or something. So I don't know what this nature is of modern American or modern Western society or whatever it is. That just is fascinated by this whole thing of being alone. You know, I've lived by myself for several years. When I was in the service, I lived by myself. Didn't have a dog. I went to work, went home. I mean, it wasn't anything I was standing in line for. It was just my situation. I got married and I didn't live alone anymore. But I don't know. It's just like people are giving up on the notion of interactions between people. Like this is a good thing. And I think this is to kind of justify this sedentary online, chronically online lifestyle that we have developed. It's becoming this thing about everyone is horrible and everyone is, you know, I'd rather be alone than to be with somebody who's not emotionally there. Are those the choices? I mean, there's nobody who's emotionally available. There's no one who is, you know, emotionally intelligent. I mean, is that where it is? It's this thing of everyone's bad but me, and everyone thinks that. And I don't understand at what point do you go, well, that can't be true. Because if everyone thinks it, then either everyone is wrong or I'm wrong. And everyone is terrible, including me. And personally, I value friendships, and I value my friendships I have with, like I said, with Ron Love and other people in my life. And in the course of our conversation, we tap into those kind of things. It's like, why don't we do this? And some of the things of why we don't have as many friends as we do or as we can have is because, you know, it's a little bit of work. And you just can't, you know, come together and just expect everything to be okay. And the other thing is that there's some element of risk. You know, opening yourself up to friendship also opens yourself up to betrayal and missed expectations. And that's what a lot of these people on these various social medias are bemoaning. It's that, why take that chance? I'd rather just be by myself. I'm learning about myself, and you know, it's peaceful and all that. And I'm here to say I think that's bullshit. I think you're just scared. Look, there is some value to being alone. That is just a fact. You know, there are times when you need to be able to say, you know, I need to be with myself, fix me, and, you know, understand why things are happening for me, to me, because of me, that kind of thing. No one's denying. But to say that your life is better because there's nobody in it, I think that's a lie. And I think you're lying to yourself. I think it's a lot more timely and a lot more convenient and acceptable to say, yeah, people are horrible. Everybody except me, of course. All the rest of you guys are horrible. And like I said, everyone's saying it. And to believe that is the kind of thing of, you know, it makes sense why I don't have friends, because everybody's horrible. Everybody's not horrible. Everybody's not horrible. There are people out there who you meet every day, and, you know, they're just people. But it's tough and it's scary to get out there and make friends, and, you know, you're just scared. And, you know, you're 20, 30, 40 years old, and you don't want to admit that you're scared. You're scared. I mean, there are entire industries out there dedicated to just making people creating opportunities for people to meet other people. This is not an unusual thing. This is what human beings do. And this is what we've done since, we stumbled from the caves or whatever you want to believe about our origins. We need each other. Just a couple of days ago, we had a vote. And, that is a demonstration of community in the purest sense. Oh, this, that, and the other, voting, my vote doesn't count. It's just trendy to be apathetic and, indifferent to everything. And that's great. That's a self-defense technique because you can't deal with the realities of who you are and what's going on around you. You get mad if you want to, but it's true. There's never been a point in human society where not coming together has somehow made us better. So this whole thing about I don't need friends or I don't want nobody and living alone is great and everything, you can fool yourself if you want to. There are times when that's good, but that's not the natural state of humanity. No matter coming from a social science point of view or from a religious point of view, man's not supposed to be alone. There's reasons why we do things. And part is because we need to be together. You can feel that way if you want to, and you can, say snide things on the internet. Just because you put it on the internet doesn't mean it's true. People cry themselves to sleep to this day because they're lonely. I don't like loneliness. I don't like being lonely. But that is definitely different than being alone. Sometimes it's time to be alone. I don't deny that. I'm alone right now. I'm alone in my car driving to work. When I'm not with my daughter, I'm probably alone. I'd rather have somebody in my life, though. And that's just me. And I think most people feel that way. It's just hard. And I think the way you get over problems is you just acknowledge that they're hard and you move on. Instead of saying, oh, it's not a problem, it's everyone else's fault. No, it's not. You don't have any friends, if you're lonely, there's a lot of people in that same boat with you who have just said, forget it, I give up. There's a reason why you're saying, forget it, I give up, but that means you have tried and that didn't get the results that you want. Keep trying. Nothing gets better for quitting. Now, if you want to be alone right now, that's your business, You've come to that conclusion that this is where I need to be in my life, that's fine. But to try to make an argument that this is the natural state, that's just not true. So what do you guys think? Have you seen these posts about, are you alone? Why are you guys single? What do you feel about it? And do you truly feel better by being alone? Or are you just not meeting people, either romantically or platonically, that mesh with you? And have you given up not because it's not worth doing, or because that pursuit is hard? Comment below.